Hello, welcome to Passnownow WAEC preparatory class. So today we'll be looking at English language and we'll examine the theory section of the examination. The theory section of WAEC examination is divided into three. We have the essay section, we have the comprehension, and we have summary. But for today, we will look at the essay section, while in subsequent classes, we'll examine the comprehension and summary. So for essay, you'll be given 5 or 6 questions and be required to answer just one. It could be a speech, it could be asked to write a speech, an article, a formal letter, an informal letter, or a narrative essay, that's a story. So it depends on what you can write. But for this class, we'll be examining each of these type of essay and how to answer them. Do you understand? So let's go. This is one of the essay questions from 2001 and it's an informal letter. Write a letter to your father who has been on a long course abroad, telling him how the family has been faring in his absence. Now, in writing an informal letter, it is a casual kind of letter that we write to loved ones, friends, and people that are close to us, and it takes the following structure. In an informal letter, you start with the address of the writer of the letter. Number 1, you start with the address of the writer. Your address should include the number of your house, your street, the state, and if it's a letter going abroad to another country, it should also include the country of the writer. As in this situation, it's a letter going to another country since your father is on a long course abroad. So your country will be stated in the address of the letter. After that, then you write the date. The date should be written in the clear format of day, month, and year, or month, day, and year. It should be as clear as possible. Afterwards, you write your salutation. Since it's an informal letter, the salutation should be informal. Something like, Dear Dad, Dear Mom, Dear Priska, depending on who you are writing your letter to. And this situation is to your dad, you write Dear Dad or Dear Daddy, as you may like. Afterwards, we have the introduction. This is the first paragraph in your informal letter that introduces the letter. In the introduction, you can exchange pleasantries, just inform him about some random issues in the house and just basically catch up with other information. It should be informal. After that, we have the body. This is where the main reason why the letter is being written is relayed to the addressee. Do you understand? In the body of the letter, you state the reason why you are writing the letter. In this situation, you are writing the letter to inform him about things at home ever since he left. So here, you state what has been going on at home, whether you had a promotion in school, whether your mom got a new job, or whatever new information he's not aware of. And then afterwards, you have your conclusion. This is where you conclude and end the letter. Then you have the complimentary clause. The complimentary clause should be in form of yours sincerely, yours, and so on. And then finally, your name. This should be your first name only. You don't have to add your surname since it's an informal letter. So that's the structure of an informal letter. Now, look at the letter on your screen. I want you to take note of some very important elements. In the address, you have the number 12, comma, Adepoju Street. A comma comes next after street. Then you have your area, Ikeja. A comma comes next after that. Then you have Lagos State. Don't just write Lagos, write Lagos State. Then you have another comma. Then you have Nigeria. Since the letter is going out of the country, then you have your full stop after Nigeria. If the letter was not going out of the country, there will be no need for you to put Nigeria. And then your full stop has to come after your state, which is Lagos State. Do you understand? After this, you have the date. Here we have 12th June, comma, 2021, full stop. Then you have your salutation. Dear Dad. There has to be a comma. Do you understand? Then the introduction, the body, the conclusion. For your complimentary close, you have yours sincerely. Look at this. Yours. Yours sincerely. The yours starts with a capital letter, while sincerely starts with a small letter, and a comma comes next. Then you write your name, Edward, and you put a full stop. Do you understand? So, we're going to the second question, 2002. So number 2, 2002, the question goes thus. The rising incidence of road traffic accidents nowadays is alarming. In an article suitable for publication in an international magazine, discuss at least 3 factors responsible for this and suggest ways of dealing with the problem. Now, this is an example of an expository essay. What's an expository essay? An expository essay is a type of essay that requires writing about a topic by researching out proven facts about the topic in order to give a clear presentation. In writing an expository essay, your opinion is not needed, as the essay has to be as objective and truthful as possible. Do you understand? Now, to answer this question, we have to take it through this format. We have the introduction, we have the body, and we have the conclusion. Now, in the introductory part of this essay, you introduce yourself, you tell us your name, and then you tell us what you want to write about. In this situation, you want to state 3 factors responsible for the increase in road accidents in your area. So you give us that in the introduction. And the body of the essay, you state your 3 points, as well as suggest ways through which it can be averted, or through which this increase in number can be reduced. And the conclusion, you conclude the entire essay. You give a summary of everything you've written in the body of the essay. Then you can write your name and your state and country, since the article will be published in an international magazine. Do you understand? So that's all for the expository essay. Look at the article displayed on your screen, read through, and learn how to write yours. Number 3. The third question, 2003. The question goes thus. Write a letter to your local government authority commenting on 3 health hazards in your area. Make suggestions as to how the situation can be improved. Now, this is a formal letter, as you are asked to write a letter to your local government authority. Formal letters are official letters written to people in authority such as the president, the governor, local government chairpersons, the principal in school, and other distinguished members of society. It's an official and formal letter that does not include the exchange of pleasantries and sharing of informal or unofficial matters. In writing a formal letter, number one, you write your address as the writer, the address of the writer. Then next up, we have the date. After which you write the name or position of the receiver of your letter. Then you write the address of the receiver. It is usually their official address. Then you have the salutation. Then you have the title of the letter. Introduction, body, conclusion, complementary clause, signature, and then your name. Here you write your first and last name. Now, you would observe that there are some differences in the structure of a formal letter and that of an informal letter that we treated previously. For the informal letter, we didn't have the name or position of the receiver, we didn't have the address of the receiver, we didn't have title of the letter, and we also didn't have signature. And for the name, we only had the first name. But for a formal letter, you write both the first name and the last name. Do you understand? So, the address of the writer. You write your address, the number of your house, the number of the street, your area, your state. Then for date, the day, month, and year. Write it in a clear format. Name or position of the receiver. In a situation where you don't know the name of the receiver of the letter, you can just write their position. For example, the local government chairperson. Do you understand? Address of the receiver. This is usually their official address, usually their office address or their PO box address. And then salutation. This should be in form of dear sir or dear ma, depending on the gender you are addressing the letter to. And if you don't know the gender of the person the letter is being addressed to, you can write it in form of dear sir/ma. But it is advisable that you know the gender of the person the letter is being addressed to. Then you have the title of the letter. This states the reason why you are writing the letter. Introduction, you introduce yourself and why you are writing this letter. This should be as short and formal as possible. Body, you state the reason why you are writing the letter in full. Conclusion, you conclude your letter and ask for a reply if such is needed. Complementary clause, this is in the form of yours faithfully. Yours, Y capital letter, F small letter, and a comma. Then you have your signature. A formal letter is usually signed, then your name, your first and your last name. That's all for the formal letter. So read through the formal letter displayed on your screen and write yours. Question 4. Write a story on the topic, an experience I would love to have again. Narrative essays must be interesting in order to catch and hold your reader's attention. Now, this question, write a story on the topic, an experience I would love to have again. It is a narrative essay. And you have the introduction, you have the body, and you have the conclusion. The introduction is where you start. You can tell us about yourself, about what led to the event or to the experience you would love to have again. For the body, you give us the full details about that experience, whether you traveled out of the country, whether you went on an amusement park. Tell us the incidents that occurred. And then for the conclusion, you conclude the essay and tell us why you would love to have that experience again. So that's all for the narrative essay. Number 5 question. You are one of the speakers in a debate on the topic, women should not be in paid employment while they are still bearing children. Write your contribution for or against the topic. Now, this is an argumentative essay. Argumentative essays are written in form of debate. It is a kind of essay in which you take a stance in an argument, find out facts or truths to support the stance you are taking, and try to convince other people to agree with your perspective or points of view on the issue. Now, this question writes for or against the topic, women should not be in paid employment while they are still bearing children. To start with, you have your salutation. Then, we have the introduction. We have the body. Conclusion. Then we have greeting. So for the salutation, you have something like, good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. That's for the salutation. Then introduction, you introduce yourself, tell us your name, the name of your school. For example, if it's a school debate competition or whatever, you introduce yourself and you also tell us the stance you are taking in this topic. For example, in this essay, we'll be opposing the motion. We'll be opposing the motion that women should not be in paid employment. That is, we want them to be in paid employment. Do you understand? For your introduction also, you can also take out the keywords in the topic and define for clarity. Now, body. In the body of this essay, you give us the reasons why you are taking the stance you are taking. If you are opposing the motion, you tell us why you are opposing the motion. You give us you give us strong points, and you give different examples to solidify your points. Conclusion, you conclude the argumentative essay by reiterating the facts already stated and giving a summary. For the greeting, you can have it in form of thank you or thank you for listening to me. And that's all for the argumentative essay. Go through the essay being displayed on your screen and learn. So for this section essay, we treated 5 questions. The first one was an informal letter. Then we read an expository essay or an article. Number 3 was a formal letter. Number 4, we had a narrative essay. And number 5, we had an argumentative essay. When you get to the exam hall, one of these, in fact, I think all of these are likely to come out, but you'll be required to answer just one. And I think with this class, you should be able to tackle any of these questions if they come out in the examination. Have a great day.